wrote a book that from the pain. I just wanna. I wrote a book that from the pain. I just wanna.
And so it begins. I'm headed to the Appalachian Trail right now for the second and final test hike. My hike begins in about a week from now, probably a little sooner, probably around 6 days from now, hopefully maybe as long as 8 days, but I will be on the trail on my Thru-Hike in the next 10 days. This is the second test hike. Just want to test out a couple more pieces of equipment, see what I'm bringing, finalize my list, get a little more experience, and then I'm out. I just met some Thru-Hikers named Moose and Happy Feet, so if you see this, what's up Moose, what's up Happy Feet? Happy Feet is a girl from Maryland. Moose is a guy from upstate New York. They met on the trail. They're hiking together now. They're going southbound from Catadon in Maine. Anyway, I'm about to start this test hike. Check you later. I started about an hour and a half ago, and I'm definitely feeling my pack weight. I bought a ton of water this time because last time I got so dehydrated, so I was on the safe side. I have like somewhere around 5 liters. I've already drank like a liter and a quarter so far. This is what I have to do now. Go up this, go around. I have like probably 2.5, 3 more miles to a shelter for today. I'm gonna hopefully stay there if it's not full, or I just might find a better spot than that, so we'll see. Oh, and by the way, I got a little lost already. When I first started out, I just figured it was up, and I just started climbing up, and then I looked around after a while and I didn't find any white blazes. I kind of had to backtrack. I really just went along like the longest side of a mountain so I wouldn't have to completely go down and back up. But I'm back on, and here we go. This is the first water source I'm filtering from. If I don't get sick, that definitely means the Sawyer works. Cooking some oatmeal this morning, right by the stream. Good morning, everyone. I slept for about 2 hours and 20 minutes last night. Shit got real. That's the only way I could put it. I heard footsteps around my tent, probably around, I don't know, 30, 40 yards away, 20, 30 meters. And it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna tell you that, you know, I was brave. I was scared like a little bitch. And it didn't sound great. There was a lot of footsteps, definite footsteps. It wasn't just like, you know, rodents or little critters stepping around my tent. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna try to tell you the truth about what happens on the trail. I was so exhausted last night that I didn't put my bear bag outside. I had it in the tent with me. I did have it, most of the food in aroma closed bags, but there was a bunch of food that was still in my pack that was outside my tent. So that could have attracted something. So about 40 minutes later, when things died down a bit, I tried to go out of my tent, but my headlamp was dead. Obviously that's the case. So I had to charge that for about 20 minutes. Then I finally came out of my tent, tied my bear bag to a tree with all the food in it, got back in the tent, but then I still heard rustling outside. It seemed like it was getting closer. At this point, I had to take a pee anyway, so I got out of the tent, and I had my headlamp on, and I looked up, and I didn't want to see anything, but I looked up and I saw 2 eyes. This one I started yelling. No more 2 eyes. I didn't really look around that hard for them though. And then there was silence, and then there was more footsteps, and then I started yelling again really loud, like crazy, you know, and then silence, and then more footsteps, and then I started really yelling, and then there was silence and silence and silence. I relieved myself, got back in my tent, watched a little YouTube, and didn't get to sleep for about 2.5 hours. Finally getting to sleep, I think my Fitbit said like 3:51 in the morning. I woke up at like, no, maybe it was later than that. Anyway, I had about 2 hours and 20 minutes or 2 hours and 28 minutes of sleep. That's what's going on right now. Right here next to me is the lemon squeezer. You can see my tent, but this is the lemon squeezer right here. I knew that I was close to it. I didn't realize that I had camped right up on it. So that's the first step of my hike this morning. I'm just out here cooking some mac and cheese. And I'm here in the fingerboard shelter. This is my mac and cheese. I got a fire going soon too. It's the first night and my pulse is absolutely jacked. There's more adrenaline flowing through me than I can remember. I didn't put a bear bag out just because I was so tired and I hadn't eaten right. And let's just say I just did that. And I hope everything's alright for the rest of the night. I heard something near the tent. Not that near, but pretty near, and walking around. And then, of course, my headlamp was out. My lantern was out. I charged my headlamp a little bit. I went outside, got all the rest of the food from my bag, put that in the bear bag, and aromatite plastic bags as well inside the bear bag. Tied it to a tree, and I heard some more footsteps, and I looked around, and my headlamp glinted on two eyes about, it's hard to say in the woods in the dark, I'd say 150 yards to 200 yards away, but I'm going to say 150 to 160 yards flat. I started yelling. Still walking around. I started yelling some more. Silence. Still walking around. I was outside the tent. I wasn't sure if I should just pack up and leave. Still walking around. I started yelling some more. I really started yelling. And since then there's been some silence. So let's hope everything goes alright for the rest of the night. Good night, everyone.